Just say is I got a message today that Teodoro is doing a lot better. You know, as I announced the other day, he was in the hospital with this COVID problem. And he's been a student of mine for a very long time. He lives in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. And according to what I heard today, he's doing a lot better now. So I'm very happy about that. But anyway, send him some energy. And most of you probably don't know him, but it doesn't matter. Just send some energy to Sao Paulo, okay? So hopefully he'll completely recover.
Hi, Stuart. Who is it? Who is sick with COVID in Sao Paulo? I don't know.
Teodoro had COVID. He was in the ICU at the hospital. And I heard today that he's doing better. You know, he's recovering. So that's very good. Okay, so we'll have a meditation. And after the meditation, if anyone has a question, I'll be happy to try and answer it. So please try and work in great depth inside. Anyone have a question you would like to ask?
Hi, Stuart. It's Paula.
Yes, Paula.
Could you please talk about healthy boundaries within unconditional love and loving others?
Well, it's almost like a paradox. Please try and sit still, everyone. It's almost a paradox. How do you have unconditional love and boundaries? You know, look, when you have evolved inside yourself to where you can live in a state of unconditional love, that in itself will be a boundary about what people can bring to you. Your capacity and strength inside, you know, will demand that people bring to you an open heart instead of all of that, you know, tension and craziness. You know, and it just, you know, look, we get what we give off. Please try and sit still. We get what we give off. You know, when we are giving off a lot of tension and a lot of anxiety and problems and fighting with people, that's what comes back to us. It's exactly what comes back to us. But if we open, understand, in order for people to communicate with us, they have to open up inside. That energy is so powerful, the energy of the heart, that it touches people. And people, you know, really to communicate with you, they are literally forced to open in that kind of depth inside themselves. So it creates its own boundaries, but they're not the kind of boundaries that we like. They're not fortresses, you know. They're not ways of defending ourselves against, you know, life. It's openness. It's this profound power of what it means to live in this world open with love, unconditional love. And, you know, and it really works because people approach you differently when they sense that inside a human being. And I think it's an amazing way of really creating boundaries in your life with people, because that kind of strength it takes to do what I'm talking about can only be built by doing deep inner work. And that will build a chakra system that's strong enough to do what I'm talking about. You know, it's like I've said this before, but it could be repeated. You know, I had a friend of mine once, a long time ago, who is like, you know, had 5 black belts in the martial, something like that, you know, was a master in the martial arts. And I'll never forget, I was standing with him on the street, we were talking, and I said, you know, I said, if a person really is a highly developed master in the martial arts, nobody would pick a fight up with them. Nobody. Their chi would be so powerful that people would be unable to pick a fight with them. I mean, all this stuff you see in the movies, and you know, these guys throwing, it's all a product of not really having developed the martial arts to the point where it's something spiritual. But when a person develops like that, you know, the energy is so powerful, the chi coming out of them is so powerful that it creates boundaries that people don't mess with it. You got to come with a flower, with an open heart, with love, the kind word, in order to communicate with a person like that. And this work is no different. I mean, it's like, you know, Swami Nityananda, people would go to his, you know, center there, whatever it was in Ganesh Puri, you know, 10 miles from when, before they got there, all of the tension began to dissolve in them. And they would come and they would, you know, get a, you know, a mala, you know, flower mala that the people would make there and bring that to him instead of all their garbage. There can't be a better boundary than that, because that really allows you to truly be a child of God on the earth. And that's one of the goals of this meditation, is to build that kind of inner life.
Thank you so much, Stuart.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? It was like my teacher, Rudy. I could never bring my garbage. I got within 2 blocks of his gallery, and I would have to go buy flowers or, you know, something, you know, plant, something to bring. What can I do to help you? And I think we all have to live kind of that way, where we, you know, and it's very hard because not too many people have that kind of inner development, that their very presence demands that you open your heart, that you don't dump all your crap on them. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I remember with Rudy, you know, I used to have a job working maybe a couple of blocks from where his store was on 4th Avenue. And every morning I would go to the job. It was a, you know, kind of a construction job. I had a little construction company, a painting company. And I would stop in a florist and leave a plant, a flower, you know, and not even with my name, I just left it there. So that when he went to his gallery in the morning, his store in the morning, that would greet him. I mean, does anyone have a question? Anyone else have a question you would like to ask?
That's such beautiful inspiration, Stuart, just leaving flowers, no name, just to greet someone's day like that, just in the name of love. That's so inspiring.
In the name of gratitude, this man saved my life. He made it possible for me to be sitting here doing what I'm doing with everybody in the Zoom class. saved my life. And he used to say all the time, he teaches out of gratitude to his teachers. They saved his life. And that's why he would do what he did. He said this, I don't know how many times, both to me privately, and I heard it in class all the time. He would say that. And it's really true. I do this out of gratitude. Same way I used to leave a plant and a flower, a sweater or something, that I would, I mean, you all do stuff for me. I mean, it's, we can't tell you, there's such a distance. There are people here from all over the United States, South America, but people send, donations, this, that. I'm telling you, it just really opens my heart. They care enough that I will keep doing this meditation, that I can pay some of my bills because of it. It really opens my heart. It's $5, it's $50. I mean, everybody's $100 to people, but it shows gratitude. And it just really opens me to see that people care, that I can come here and do this meditation. I can take care of it doesn't take care of, the bigger bill, but it takes care of some of the bills I have to pay. And I know when I used to do retreats, people were very generous and very kind and letting me stay in their houses and making breakfast, dinner, lunch, driving me around to places I had to go. I mean, it was all gratitude. That was really the reason why people do stuff. And if you can't find that gratitude inside yourself, you're in trouble. Some way of saying thank you. Does anyone else have a question they'd like to ask? And I'm just deeply grateful that we all can be here doing this 4 times a week, and then 3 times a week with people in Israel and Europe, and some people from the United States that can't make these classes. I mean, I'm very grateful to be sitting here and that I have the energy to do this, I mean, look, I'm not a young man anymore, and to have the energy to do this is totally extraordinary. And where does the energy come from? It comes from a higher place. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, and we'll have meditation tomorrow evening, and same time, same place. God bless you all, and thank you for allowing this to take place and being here. And my goal, honestly, is to pass this on. I just want people to learn this, and hopefully they in turn can do this with somebody else. They grow enough for themselves that they can share this kind of magical energy and help other human beings get closer to God. I mean, there's nothing more important than that in the world, frankly. We live in a very crazy world. And mostly because there's no consciousness in the world. Everybody knows what's right. Everybody knows better than everybody else. But these classes are about that, passing on energy, Shakti, from generation to generation. So take it in, grow with it, and just be grateful. I'm grateful too. A lot of gratitude. Thank you. So there'll be a class tomorrow evening, and I hope to see everybody there. Bless you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you so much, Stuart. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.